जादू तेरी नजर खुशबू तेरा बदन
Hello everybody and welcome to myBataz presents Bataz Buzz. We are with Kenisha Awasthi.
Hey!
Kenisha, thank you so much for joining us. You look fantastic.
Thank you, Nina, and so do you. You look absolutely lovely like always.
Oh, thank you. No, but like seriously, like you've got a, I'm sorry to say, you've got a boss figure right now. You look fabulous.
Thanks so much.
So is this like part of a new fitness routine? Do you work out a lot?
I eat more mindfully now. I mean, I'm kind of more conscious about what I'm eating, and I think that a healthy routine is always better. You know, sleeping at the right time, waking up at the right time, and of course, you have to bring in some activity.
Yeah.
So I kind of try and get some hours of the in the gym, and other than that, my PA, you know, that is physical activity. I'm always on the go, so I think I would always endorse that. Just be physically active.
When you said PA, I thought you were going to say my personal assistant. I was like, oh, wow.
Those days will come, but there's still time for that.
Those days will come.
For as long as I can remember, I've only ever wanted to be a performing artist. I also come from a family of artists, you know. So my grandfather has been the chairperson of NSD, that's National School of Drama. My mother has been a very famous playback singer, Kenisha Awasthi. So there was also that atmosphere at home. My father has also been a copywriter, you know. So there's always been the atmosphere of arts, literature and music, you know, at home. And every day has been like a big, you know, there would be those mehfils, you know, when there would be friends of my parents would come over and my mother would sing and everybody would take round robins and sing, you know. So there was always that culture, and I think then when you're very young and if you absorb that kind of culture, I think it's very, then it becomes very innate to your aptitude, right?
Definitely.
So also my sisters learned dancing, you know, for about 9 years she did Odissi. So I think there was always that, you know, there was always that proclivity to kind of do, you know, like performing arts. And from as long as I can remember, maybe when I was 3 or 4, I always wanted to be like a performing artist. So, so I guess that it must be a true calling, because at that age you don't have the intellect to rationalize and think that, oh, because this is lucrative or because this is fame, then I want to be this, you know.
Exactly. When you're 3 years old, you think, itna, matlab, these many shoots will get me that much and that much and that much. She said, I want to be a star, and you are a star.
I mean, I'm not a star at all, thank you so much, but I love what I do, you know, and I think that takes care of everything else that comes with the territory, you know, all the pressures that come with it and all the hardships that one faces. I think that kind of neutralizes it, because when you really love what you do, I think then you're willing to kind of take the pressure, you're willing to have the down days and still get up and kind of go for it, you know. The music industry, I feel, is also, you know, something that only rides on just largely talent. You know, with acting, there's a lot that you can kind of, you know,
get away with.
Yeah, you can get away. Maybe if you're not a very 19-20 actor, then probably you make it up for the way you look or your body or whatever. And music is just your voice, you know. And I think that, and also I feel like acting, maybe on the editing table, it can be sort of like, you know, it's slightly make-believe, right? But how do you cheat your vocal cords? You cannot like pretend to sound in tune. You either are in tune or you're not, and you better had be if you're going to be professional, you know.
Or you auto-tune.
Yeah, but that people can catch, especially
people can really catch
especially when now the whole live industry is so big with events, and largely all the singers and performers make all their money is through the shows. So then I think that training, I'm a big, you know, I'm a big fan of like training in anything. Whatever you do, and if you're doing it like professional, you better have training in it. So I think if you're not a trained musician, I would think that it's hard for you to sustain. You know, that's why we have Arijit who's ruling, because look at his study, look at his prep, you know, he's really prepped up, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I've done a couple of ad jingles, and I think some of my, so one of my friends, Soumyati Barman, is one of my favorite, you know, composers. He's done music for a couple of films, and he's a brilliant musician. I mean, I think the day he starts doing more work, people will know that. One of my other favorite musicians is this really young kid. His name is Joshua, and he's creating some incredible independent music. And if I were to lay my bet, I would lay it on him. I mean, he makes independent, you know, scores which kind of have influences from Africa, and then they'll have Eastern influences like a harp, and he'd fuse it with like a, you know, like a djembe and some eclectic stuff that he does, you know. So these guys are my favorite musicians as of now, you know, that I can think of, that I've had the fortune to work with, you know. And then there's this another guy, he's an ad composer, Naushad. I've sung a jingle for him for Ghana.com. I think he's incredible too, very perfectionist. He does his work with full diligence. And so Shamir Tandonji is also again one of my favorite composers. I mean, I've sung a jingle for him which hasn't yet released, but I feel like he really gives you the free hand, you know, to kind of sing a thing according to how you would want to, and he just tells you to be, you know, like, so I kind of like that about him. Growing up, I think my grandmother has been a great inspiration to me, and she was a woman who was always turned out well. You know, even if she would go to sleep, like she'd do her whole night routine, you know, wearing creams and perfumes and so, I mean, she always kind of also instilled the importance of like just being groomed, because to her, grooming was really equivalent to hygiene. So that to me was really like, you know, taught as a child that if you're not well groomed, if your nails are not clean, and if you're not dressed well, and if you're not this and that, then you know you're not hygienic. So that kind of like subliminally kind of really, you know, because who wants to be unhygienic? You know?
Of course.
That kind of gave, kind of just you know, snowballed into something really big in my head. And then she would also watch a lot of like old Hollywood films and stuff, so I kind of grew up like really admiring, you know, the Monroes, and like I'm very fascinated by that whole era of Hollywood, you know, the Edie Lamars and everything. So I think it became a part of like just, you know, that aspirational world of a young child. And I don't know, also as a woman, I think it comes naturally to you to kind of want to be graceful, or you know, want to be like well turned out. It's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling. So it's kind of like, you know, I think it's something that just makes me feel good, and who doesn't want to feel good all the time, you know? It's not so much vanity really, it's just about psychologically feeling your best, and it's also obviously something that can, you know, make you feel more confident. So all of that, it's a whole gamut of things really, you know.
3, 2, 1. What do you do when life gives you lemons?
Well, it'll be too cliche to say make lemonade, so I kind of just rub it on my face and try and get some natural bleach on.
How many relationships have you had?
3.
Have
3
you ever-
steady ones, like serious relationships, yeah.
Have you ever hooked up with a co-star?
Co-star, no, not really, no.
What is one thing you cannot do without?
My mother.
Batman or Superman?
Superman.
If you woke up one day as Rakhi Sawant, what would be your first reaction?
I'd be happy, man. She always seems happy, and I quite like the lady, you know. She's authentic, she's real. I don't see any problem with her. In fact, I follow her on Instagram. I admire her guts.
Have you ever peed in a pool?
No, never.
How long have you ever gone without a shower?
Maybe a day or two at the most.
And if you I'm fumbling. The time is almost up. Sorry, I'm fumbling. I'll give you an extra 5 seconds. How many states and how many union territories are there in India?
Oh shit, 5? 7? Yeah,
Yes.
I was close. 5.
There's 7.
Yeah.
What would be the first thing you do if you woke up as the opposite sex?
I'd call myself. I'd call me and ask her out on a date.
That's a superb answer. And have you been caught checking someone out?
I mean, I kind of like check out people blatantly. It's a nice thing. You should feel happy if a beautiful girl is checking you out. Like, it's a form of flattery.
You should be. And our time is up. I'm sorry, I think I took 3 seconds away from you there because I also fumbled. I'm sorry about that.
Don't be.
That
This was fun.
That reminds us of our anchoring days when suddenly we'd be talking and Kenisha would say, and we're doing this, and I'd be like, and then she suddenly pick up for me. So you've been a lifesaver in so many occasions.
I think you would always handle the English parts, and then because I think Hindi was,
Yes.
that's how we would bifurcate it before the show would
Exactly.
roll.
I would be like, humne, and then she'd take it over and I'd pause. So yes, we've done that again. Did you have fun?
I had so much fun.
So do you think you did well?
I think I did authentic. I don't know well or bad, but I think I just did the best I could.
I think you did very
In
well.
life, I'm always just sure that I'm doing the best I can.
And I think you deserve a hamper.
Really?
Yay,
Oh my gosh,
you won a
thanks. You know,
hamper.
that is so sweet. That is so
won a
sweet.
hamper.
Thank you.
Yay! And
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure you
so
like all
sweet.
this stuff.
Thank you
I'm
so
sure you
much.
like all this stuff.
So, in terms of my own music, the stuff that I've put out, I quite love Jadoo Teri Nazar, because I think that it was a very nice take on, you know, that obsessive love from the perspective of a woman, and that somehow is a territory that has not been explored. I mean, which I feel is quite weird, because we also feel love in a way that's dangerous. You know, you can be dangerously in love as a woman also.
Dangerously in love.
Dangerously.
All right. So take it away,
So
Kenisha.
I'll sing that one, and cool.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Cool.
जादू तेरी नजर खुशबू तेरा बदन जादू तेरी नजर खुशबू तेरा बदन तू हाँ कर ना 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 या ना कर तू हाँ कर जहाँ से तू हाँ कर या ना कर, तू हाँ कर या ना कर, तू है मेरा सनम, तू है मेरा सनम.
Oh my goodness, that was fabulous.
Thanks so much.
And
Thank
the
you.
emotion with which, the intensity with which you sing, it was mesmerizing.
Thank you so much. My style mantra is, I think, that just be true to who you are. I mean, and by that I don't mean that start just being all sporty, because for some reason people just consider that being like just unkempt is being true to yourself. If that's not who true to being yourself is, then don't be that. Because for me, like just being really, you know, like well dressed, wearing heels, that is not me being, you know, sort of like fake or like putting a farce on. That's just who I am.
Exactly.
So just be true to who you are. If you like being in your gungies and your PJs, that's fine. If you like being dressed like in a bodycon all the time, be that, and just get in some healthy, you know, like practices in your everyday life. Make time for your family. That's really important, I think. And just don't let anyone dictate what fashion is. And if you can, like, dress according to your body type. Do your own thing and like just be, you know, just don't care too much about impressing anyone. And I think this whole epidemic of putting on like a certain image on social media, I think it's quite unhealthy. And I think just be like a rebel with a cause. I think that's the best way to live your life. Be a rebel with a cause, but have a cause for sure.
That's amazing. That on that note, I don't think I can top that, guys. Kenisha, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Neena. It was lovely.
It was absolutely lovely.
And nostalgic.
And nostalgic. And you are a fantastic singer.
Oh, thank you so much.
We are definitely going to talk a lot more after this.
Yes.
But guys, for now, this is bye from us.
Thank you. Bye.